Hi, I'm Nevin Sanli. I'm one of the founders of Sanli Pastore Hill, and I'm also the president. Well, that means, like, as an owner, I do pretty much everything and a lot of different things. So I interact with clients, I review our work product, our valuations that we do for the clients, or our calculations of damages. I meet with clients, I testify in court as an expert, I do board presentations, and I discuss with clients all of the aspects of their business and work on on doing some strategic planning with them. What is fun about this is that I get exposed to a lot of different businesses. I've seen so many businesses for over 30 years now, and I enjoy that a lot. I enjoy the variety of the clients I meet, the variety of the businesses they own, and how they got started. And because of the variety of work I've seen, I'm able to learn quickly about a business and understand their problems and understand the issues they're facing so that when it comes down to doing a valuation or calculating damages they may have suffered, I am very effective at getting to the bottom of things. I think that what's also exciting about the work I do is that we have an amazing team here. I enjoy working with a lot of people that we have. We're almost 20 people, and we really have a wonderful team. Everyone works very hard. We work as a team on all of our projects. And I think that the osmosis effect, the team participation effect, results in much better quality work, much better output, because it enables us to brainstorm and also do quality review on each other work. 15 years ago, a client had a business where he had to buy out a 33% shareholder. And they got into a litigation as a result. It's called a shareholder dispute litigation. And I was hired to value the 33% interest in the business and to testify in arbitration trial. Well, the opposing appraiser valued the business at $100 million. And this was a business doing about 5 million a year in profits, or what we call EBITDA. Well, typically a business back then doing 5 million a year in profits would sell for about 25, maybe 30 million at most. And I had valued that 33% for about $13 million. There were other factors affecting the value of the business. And so we got to about a $13 million valuation for 33% of the business. And what happened is that the opposing expert had double counted inventory and had assumed certain facts that were not reality. And as a result, the value was very inflated. But also, the scary part is that had we gotten a verdict of $100 million against this client, they would have had to file bankruptcy. They could not pay a 100 million award out of cash flow or even borrowing. They didn't have sufficient assets. They didn't have sufficient cash flow to justify borrowing a valuation of 100 million on a 1/3 interest on their business. And what was additionally complicating things is that this person was a PhD in economics and had worked at one of the big four firms, big accounting firms. And so he was coming with a lot of credentials, advancing an opinion that could destroy the lives of my client and his family. His brother also worked in the business with him, and his father had started the business and was still working with him back then, and also destroy the livelihood of all the people working there. And they had about 60, 70 employees, and everyone depended heavily on their paychecks. Well, I think that it worked out well because I worked very hard, and and the harder I get, the luckier I get. The harder I work, the luckier I get. And when we went to trial, I was able to show that the opposing appraiser's mistakes and how it resulted in overvaluing the business. And As a result, the judge liked my opinions. He liked how I explained this in cross-examination and in direct examination. And the attorneys I was working with were very effective at cross-examining the opposing witness. And so at the end of the day, we ended up with a $13 million verdict. So exactly my number. It was fantastic teamwork with the law firm, with the client, with my team here. And we're very proud to be able to keep that firm out of bankruptcy, keep that firm going. The client paid the 33% shareholder immediately and moved on and are doing very well now. And I'm lucky now to have both brothers as very good friends and that we spend a lot of time together now and will continue to do so as we've become tied at the hip because of the history we've had together. So I think that's very important for me. It's a very memorable case, and I've had quite a few others with similar successes and similar friendships that have developed, but that's a good example of one. What are the type of cases that are my favorite to work on? Um, I like a lot these kind of shareholder cases, but I also like any case that requires me to do an intense board presentation or intense regulatory hearing or to testify in court as a witness. Because when you are under the limelight of very wealthy board members of a corporation, sometimes billionaires, or sometimes people who have put a lot of money and they're afraid of losing it. And also when I'm being cross-examined by a very motivated attorney who really needs to undermine my opinion, meaning destroy my opinion, destroy me as a witness so that his or her client can prevail. And that forces me to be the best I can be. That is the highest level of psychic income, job satisfaction I can have. Doing my homework, preparing very hard, working as many hours as needed to deliver for the client what is an equitable result in whatever setting I'm in. And those settings are situations where I elicit the toughest questions, the most pointed questions from very sophisticated people, very bright people, and that forces me to be very good, and I like that a lot. Um, well, you're going to say, how do you do this? You're running the firm. You're also doing a lot of other things that in your job. How do you keep productive? How do you keep working like this? And especially now with COVID, it's very difficult with telecommuting. Well, um, I agree. And there are some tips that I've used to keep me productive during COVID, during all these Zoom calls. One is to have some time between each Zoom call so that I can breathe, relax before I get to the next Zoom call. Because every client Zoom call, every client interaction, they deserve my full focus, my complete attention. And that takes something out of me. I don't mind it, but I need to refill in between. So I need 5 minutes to breathe, step outside in the backyard, listen to the birds or listen to the silence, or go check what else is going on in the house, or when I'm at the office, take a break, see what's going on in the office, walk around, get a cup of coffee, come back. That really helps. And then at the end of the day, there's got to be time when you unplug from the office, because when you work from home, you're on all the time and you need to separate the two. And I am doing a good job at that, because once I know I've answered all my calls, I've answered all my emails, and unless there's an urgent situation, I'm waiting for an answer for next day, an immediate situation that may occur the next day, like a trial the next day or a board presentation. Unless I have that, I turn off and I have a quiet dinner, I watch TV, spend time with my family, and I really, really relax. I also meditate a lot. I take some time to meditate, 5 to 10 minutes here and there, and that keeps me grounded, that keeps me relaxed, and I can move on to do something else. Another productivity tip that I've used all my life, and especially when I was working for others for the first six years of my career, and also while in college working for a variety of campus organizations, I show up 20 minutes early. I take 20 minutes less for my lunch break, and I stay 20 minutes later than everyone else. And what happens is when I do that, I add an hour during the day without realizing I really added an hour because it's 20 minutes here and there, 10 minutes here and there. But over a year, over a career, it really adds up to a big, significant difference. How did I get into this career? Well, I started when I finished college at a small investment bank because I studied economics, finance, and mathematical models for economics and finance. I studied statistics, and I liked all that. So a small investment bank hired me to be their first analyst to prepare the sell side books, we call them, to sell businesses. So basically, you prepare a book that tells everything about the business and its future that you present to potential buyers. So I started working on those, and throughout that process, I realized that valuations were very important. Research, diligence, completeness of information, whether good or bad, and all to be disclosed in that book. And I really enjoyed that process. And so as a result, I would go to the library after work in the evenings, research these topics. And I realized that I really like doing business valuations, diligence for transactions, research, and analyzing what a business will do going forward, and also calculating their profits, recasting profits of what they ought to be if certain things happen. And as a result, I found a career. And then one day I met Tom Pastore at a previous employer. And Clinton Hill and I were already friends. And we left and opened our own firm because there was no room for partners there. As we grew, now we have 4 offices, and we're doing quite a lot of valuations from small businesses all the way to the largest ones in the nation, like the largest publicly traded corporations. And I really enjoy that. Every client is important, no matter how big or how small. And every one of them gets the same level of attention from us, the owners of the firm, and from our team. So we're very agile, we're boutique, we're very focused on our clients, and we care about every client as much as they care about their business and what they need to achieve by hiring us. This brings me to when I started the firm in 1992. And next year will be 30 years exactly we started the firm. And I had been already out there 6, 7 years before working. And so in 1992, we opened our business in the living room of my 1-bedroom apartment in the Palms area of Los Angeles, which is a low rent district. Back then was a very low rent district of LA. And we shipped out all my living room furniture. We had 3 fold-out desks, computers, printers, and we started making calls and sending brochures to people. Back then, the internet did not allow you to send attachments and all that stuff. And it was just brochures we would send. Every day we'd run to the post office with a pile this thick of brochures to send to people we had contacted, and then we would follow up with them. And it's been an exciting run. I really enjoyed starting the firm. I really enjoyed every minute of it, even though it was very, very long hours for the first 10 years, less long hours for the next 10, and now more normal hours, but still with spikes when needed. And I'll work a weekend and the whole weekend and late at nights if needed to do my job right. Hobbies. Well, I play guitar in a I played guitar in a rock band for a long time. I still play guitar, no longer in a band, because it took a lot of work to assemble all of that group of people, but I enjoy it a lot. And that takes up some of my free time. I play soccer still. I used to play every Saturday. Now with COVID, we haven't been able to, but it's going to come back. And I've played soccer all my life because I grew up in Belgium, Brussels. And as a result, I got exposed to a lot of soccer, and I played competitive level soccer all my life, and that's a big one of my big passions. Of course, I focus a lot on my family, my kids, my wife. We're a very tight knit family, and we have two dogs and a cat, and so it's busy. Keeps us busy. Um, Best advice I was given, I think, in life and in building my career is probably from my dad. He said, I am not rich enough to afford poor quality. That means that I don't have enough money to buy cheap stuff that I have to keep buying over and over because they don't last or they break fast or they don't do the job they're supposed to do. And so my father said, research well, buy the best you can afford every single time. It will last a lifetime and it will be very, very effective at achieving your goals. That's why I recommend my clients be wise, but not penny wise. And don't try to cross the desert in a 20-year-old beat up car. If you can, buy a new car or a recently new car, get it checked, and cross the desert with that car. Another advice I was given is that I should have a sense of urgency about everything I do, to have a permanent sense of dissatisfaction with the work I produce so that I always think of doing it better for the client at the time I'm doing it and for the next clients every single time. I don't believe in if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I believe that if it works well, it could work better, make it better. Also, I do believe that I should do the best I can for my clients because I believe that the way you do anything is the way you do everything. And I strive to do that in everything I do. And our clients deserve that we do the best for them once they hire us because all of the work we do is mission critical. It is important, it matters to them, and the consequences are dire. Just like my friend whose business could have been valued just at 33% at $100 million. It is important. It cannot be underestimated. It cannot be taken lightly because our clients' lives depend on this, their livelihood, their future. Let me think about a book that I'm reading now. It'll give you a good sense. I've read many of Jared Diamond's books, the guy who wrote Guns, Germs, and Steel. And I like his books a lot. I think you should check him out. I've read all of his books, except those about bird watching. He watches birds and writes about birds, and that I'm not able to read, but it is an interesting topic. And then also I'm reading a book about our planet from David Attenborough, who is a fantastic book about what we're witnessing slowly and surely, the decay of our planet by what we are doing. The planet will survive, we just won't. So anyway, it's not necessarily something that we can't fix, and I think we can all work, do all our little part of it. To conclude, I'd like to say that one of the reasons I think we have been successful and have been growing and continue to grow now is that I enjoy the work I do very much. I enjoy the people I work with. I enjoy our clients very much. I enjoy meeting all the people that work in a company that we're working with and interacting with them. I enjoy working with the attorneys that refer me all the business, the accountants, the investment bankers, and other trusted consultants. And because of all those reasons, I'm a very happy person, a very happy camper, and I intend to keep going that way for a long time. And call us. Would love to get your business, would love to work with you, help you achieve your goals.